hit stop. Perfect. All right, guys, what's going on? Got a nice cold Keystone, because, fuck yeah, America. I always get asked a couple questions here. Well, two, I'm putting two up. Two of them, I get two of them. Ryan, why do you drink such shitty, cheap beer? Well, because I like it. That's fucking why. Sold. That and plus it's cheap. I don't know, I drink a fuckload of beer and it helps to have cheaper beer. Bud Light I don't like anymore because it's too sweet. If you actually look at it, Bud Light has a fuckload of sugar in it, believe it or not. Keystone doesn't, so it takes out all the sugar. All the stuff that makes it more and all the advertising bullshit you pay for, it all tastes the fucking same. If you're buying light beer, in my opinion, it'll fucking taste the same. So whether you buy your $35 worth of whatever Bud Light beer versus my 12 rack of Keystone, only difference is I didn't pay $35 for the same fucking shit. That's how I look at it. So yeah, that's why I drink Keystone. Plus my buddy, one of my best friends, Cody, drinks it too, and it just makes it easy. So we just buy Keystone. He works down in West Virginia, brings me up a case. Done. Number 2, Ryan, why do you look like Bam Margera? I have no idea how this started, where this started, who started it, but like in the comment section, I get all the time, hey, can you comment about why you look like Bam Margera? Hey, do you know this guy looks like Bam Margera? You know who he reminds me of? Bam Margera. I don't fucking look like that guy at all. I don't feel like. I don't think. I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania, but that motherfucker's from out towards Philly. I'm like South Central poor people Pennsylvania. He's like living in rich people Pennsylvania. I'm poor Pennsylvania. If that makes any sense, but I don't think I look like Bam Margera at all. Let's go ahead and flip the picture up right now. I don't look like this guy. I don't look like him. I don't look anything like him. I don't think. That's my opinion, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. All right, so the real reason you guys come here is, why the fuck do I invest so much money in my own tools? If you can see behind me here, let's pick up the camera and make this easy. If you guys can see behind me here, all the luxurious toolboxes and all the stuff I have here, it's because, well, I work on my own cars. And the way I've always looked at it was, instead of paying a shop to do the work, instead of taking it to XYZ shop to do blah, blah, blah to the car, I always figured, well, I have so much time off, I don't have children, I don't really have any responsibilities besides having a house and a normal job. When I have free time, I like to work on the car, so why not learn how to work on the car and then buy the tools to do it? It is literally cheaper for me to do that, and then if the issue comes up again, instead of me taking it back to XYZ shop and paying that same amount of money again, wouldn't you know, I now own those tools that needs to do that, or is needed to do that job, and I don't have to pay for it again. Only thing I have to do is put my time in, which, again, I enjoy doing it. Now, that being said, I don't like to do repetitive work. I don't like to repeat myself, you know. I don't like screwing things up. But if something does go wrong, you know, you gotta replace clutches, you gotta fix certain things, you gotta pull motor sometime. At least I have the tools to do it now. Anything I need to do a swap in a car, anything I need to fix on the car, I have every single tool here. I bought, paid for, cash money, it's done, it's here. A lot of people don't have this luxury, and I feel very fortunate that I do, but this is what I did from the start. When I started wrenching on the car, my mentality was I could either pay, well, to give you a little background, I was going to pay Freed Engineering back in 2013 or 2014 to swap the car. I was like, I'll get a quote from them. And that was to do the whole kit and caboodle. This is like everything. They were going to supply the ECU, do all the wiring, do the swap, check the bearings, do every little thing to make it single turbo and run. And it came out to, I believe, $14,000 or $15,000. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to look it up. I used to have it saved in my emails from all those years ago, but I think I finally deleted it. Which is probably honestly a cheap build, to be realistic. I mean, there's a lot of time and effort that goes in that. They're adding a lot of stuff on top of it. It's not just the motor. I mean, that's them supplying motor, that's them doing installing the trans, do the clutch, it's supply turbo, supply downpipe, mid-pipe, etc. But I figured out I could do it all myself for about a third of the cost if I bought my own tools and do everything myself over time. Now, did it take me a fuckload of time? Absolutely. It took me a long time to build this car. I'm like looking behind me here, idiot. It took me a long time to build this car. We're talking months upon months to build this because I had no idea what I was doing. I literally had no idea what I was doing, how to go about it. If it wasn't for good friends and people guiding me, I never would have finished this car. So with the help of Chris, who actually, funny enough, now works at Freed Engineering, we swapped the car, we got the wiring set up, and we ran on a single turbo. We did that in my little one-car garage with barely any tools. I had any power tools whatsoever. Everything was done by hand, which I had old Craftsman tools, which, here, let me show you. This thing is all organized now. I wish I still had it. It was a red toolbox. It was probably,
I don't know, half of this one toolbox, and you just had this. That was it. That was every tool I had was in one of these toolboxes, half the size, every single tool I had. And there were some screws, random screwdrivers, all that kind of stuff. Any little dumb thing you had was in there, I could wedge into it. So there wasn't a ton of tools, and the tools I did have were like, let's see what I got here. Like this here, this old Craftsman ratchet wrench. It's okay. It's not the best quality in the world, but it worked. And I did everything by hand. I cranked it. And looking back on it, I'm like, how the hell did I do all this work on my back, doing it, cranking by hand? No wonder half the time I said, it's impossible to break this stuff loose. You can't get this off. And if I would have had what I have now, power tools, like this 1-inch impact here, half that shit would have come off like nothing. And it would have been no sweat off my back. I wouldn't have thought anything of it, you know? And back then, I'm like stressing. My arm was always sore. I always had shoulder problems because I'm always on my back, like cranking on stuff. Now I don't have to deal with any of that. But getting back on topic here, going over the tools, I just figured it would be smart to invest in my own tools. I had this custom garage built about a year and a half ago that my friends call it, it's a garage with a house attached because it's so big. The garage is 1,250 square feet. It's a massive ass garage, and I do love that. I made sure it was completely open, like you can see. There's no pillars, nothing coming down to impede working on the car. The only thing I do have is this bump out here, which is where the central fireplace is for our living room. And the other bump out, I guess I call, is I wanted a wash tub, and this is how specific it was. It had to be a wash tub that had no legs. So this is mounted directly to the wall. So any dirt, grime, or debris, anything that's underneath of it, you could sweep underneath of it freely and easily. I know that seems stupid, but when you're trying to clean up stuff or you're trying to sweep through things, you want it to be easy. The only thing I don't really like out here that bugs me is I still have this junk corner. I want to clean this up and make it into another husky cabinet of some sort. I like cabinets, I like stuff like this because it hides everything. Even if you have junk, you can put it in there and it looks clean. This just looks like clutter, it looks dirty. Another thing I need to do too is put like a towel rack up here and some like soaps and stuff, because you can see the back of that's getting all dirty from, well, I have grease on my hand. I clean myself out here, or I clean parts in there. Don't tell the city I said that. Let's erase that part. But yeah, I do everything out here, and yeah, I thought this was like my dream. I got the idea from a guy, Matt Mormon, who runs Obsessed Garage. He did like an expensive version of this, and I kind of ripped it off. So this is like a knockoff version using husky cabinets. I think the total of this with the TV, everything you see, I think it came out to like 2,000. I think it was like 2,200 or 2,300 bucks total for everything. That's not including tools. That's just for all the toolboxes, the cabinetry, and the TV. It was like $2,200 or $2,300, which if you break it down, looking at what a Snap-on or a Matco box costs, some of you guys out there that are watching this and might have one, you're probably shitting yourselves, because one of your small boxes like this husky here will probably cost you what, $5,000, $6,000, if not more than that. And that's not including everything else. Probably with tools and stuff, I don't know. I probably still have less than $4,000 and everything, maybe $5,000 at most. We'll just round up to 5,000. Just everything, every power tool, every stupid thing I've bought, we'll say $5,000 for everything you see here. Which, if you think about it, $5,000 is a lot of money, but now put that over, I'm 30 years old. I started when I was 15, I got my first tool set. So over 15 years, I've accumulated $5,000 worth of stuff. So it's not a whole lot really spent over that long ass period of time if you really think about it. And then over that time, I just started buying stuff, like every little thing you can think of, every screwdriver, every clamp. I don't know, I just literally have it. So I guess I can go through some of the drawers here, but ooh, that beer belch though, good Lord. Thank you, Keystone. But the first top drawer here is just like random stuff. I kind of did a drawer walkthrough, a garage walkthrough one time, but this is where I have like extra filters, DEI heat wrap, just a bunch of random Toyota parts too. I have a ton of lug studs and stuff. I keep backups almost everything just in case. I know it seems stupid, but I could almost rebuild another Supra. I mean, right here's an oil feed line for a Toyota Supra. I got a bunch of random stuff. Again, some more clamps, random things, picks. I need to organize this actually, it looks like hell. Down here, this is some electrical stuff. I've got a crimper, multiple types of crimpers, electrical wrap, a punch, because I was blowing fuses like crazy on the MR2 there for a while because I wired some shit wrong. That was my fault. More electrical random wire. I have a big assortment of O-rings. You can get this at Harbor Freight. I recommend anyone buying this. This is heat, oil resistant, etc. Another thing I recommend for any home doer is a digital caliper of some sort. I bought that at Radio Shack. Yes, Radio Shack, the place that no longer exists. I highly suggest getting one of those. They come in handy a lot. Just if you watch my last video, which is right here, I used it to measure the turbo bearings. So you went over it to check it and make sure everything was in clearance. I went ahead and did that, and it's nice to have the caliper, well, on site with you at all times. Then we've got some other stuff like just random tools. I use this to press down the brakes when needed. Coilovers, you gotta have these guys. I forget they're even the technical names for. And this, I didn't even know what the hell this thing was. I needed this specifically, I don't know what the name of it is, but I needed it specifically to remove the, I guess it's a seal at the end of the drive shaft, at the end of the trans itself. This pulls that seal out. I bought this from AutoZone and it worked really well. I haven't had an issue since. What else is down here? Look, I probably have, look at all this Vibrant line. I got all sorts of hoses. I probably have, I don't know, I probably have $200 or $300 worth of AN fitting lines. Again, why do I have all that? Just in case if I have a line break. Again, stupid, but when something breaks, I usually just go, okay, I'll grab it. That's why you're gonna laugh at this part. This is all brand new hardware. This is all brand new stainless steel hardware all through here. Different sizes, fittings, AN fittings, you name it, I have it. It's just, again, you have to have it that way. And then I bought all the rest of this stuff. This is all Harbor Freight tooling for the most part, some Craftsman stuff, but this this little organizer here, Harbor Freight. It was like $5 at Harbor Freight. Stacks everything up nice and neatly. I bought a bunch of them, so I have multiple types, and I just use it to organize other stuff, even if it isn't, well, like 14, 14, 13, 12, whatever. Even though it doesn't match up with that, I use it to organize certain tools just because it, well, makes it easy. And then down here, this is my English set of tools, which I rarely use because I work on Japanese stuff. And fuck the English system. I'm an American, I will openly say this right now. Fuck the English system. Why we don't use metric, I have no idea. I'm an engineer and I fucking hate the English system. It's stupid as shit. My 8,000 microfiber towels, these Eagle edgeless towels, oh, I'd like to sleep with those at night, they're so soft. Again, more random tools. I'm trying to speed this up a little bit because I know I'm rambling on here. Here's one thing I wanted to bring up. This is called a thread checker, guys. Let me pull this up here. This little guy here is literally designed so you can, well, check threads of certain bolts and nuts. It has a female and male side, so if you have a bolt that you're like, man, I don't know what this bolt is, you stick it into which one it is or which one you think it is until you find the right side and go, oh great, this is an M12 by 1 1/4. You go down to Lowe's, you go to Fastenal, whoever, and that's who we use here in the US, and go, hey, I need an M12 by 1 1/4 at this length. They go, great, we have it, give it to you, you walk out and you can put it on the car. No more guessing, takes all the guesswork out. I bought that little guy off Amazon. It's been like a godsend, especially when I was building the motor, because some of those bolts have some really, really weird thread pitches, so it came really in handy for that kind of stuff. More, I guess, tap and die set. Compression tester for when, well, you gotta check the motor compression every once in a while. That came in handy. Some more dirty rags and tools. I keep all my BFH, big fucking hammer, some smoking shit. AN tools. These are AN specific wrenches and an adjustable one. This stuff comes in handy too, depending what you're doing. And this is a Borescope here. I bought this from AutoZone. This comes in handy quite a bit. Now, depending what you're doing, this saved my ass when I dropped a washer down the cylinder head. I had accidentally worked on the car and dropped a washer down the cylinder head. It's a long story. Anyways, dropped the washer down the cylinder head. This little guy saved me. It found it down in there, couldn't locate it. I kept looking down, couldn't see. With this little guy, ran the scope down in there, boom, saw it, sucked down a magnet, picked up the washer, and was good to go. Could have destroyed the head. Thank God for that little guy. Again, I bought that like as AutoZone or Advanced Auto. Dremel, which I use a lot. Again, more worm clamps, oil wrench, another oil wrench. This little guy comes in handy for when jacking up the car to pinch welds. This keeps your car from destroying the pinch welds. I think, again, I got this off Amazon cheap. Heat guns, OBD2 scanner reader. I bought that when I had my 2009 Lexus because it was always throwing codes. What the hell, that's stuck. Oh, this is all my some of my extra detailing bottles. These haven't been used yet. Some buffing pads, whatnot. Drills, taps, more random shit, more stuff that's not really car related. Bunch of OEM parts, more Dremel stuff, yeah, random stuff, brake bleeder kit, and power tools, which you always need power tools. And then these guys don't really have a whole lot. This is all just storage, like my detailing products, some random stuff. There's not really a whole lot in here. And then I use the above cabinets for, that has, I believe that has like all my paints and stuff. Well, let's look here real quick. Yeah, this has all my paints and all that good stuff in it. You know, all the stuff that you have to have, brake cleaner, etc. This just has some camera gear in it, and these two were both detailing products, a ton of detailing stuff. And this also has my pretty certificate from Super Registry certifying that my car is what it says it is. It has the VIN number on it, certifies, yep, this is a true left-hand drive Supra. Do you need that? No, but it's fucking cool. And then lastly here again, more detailing stuff. Woo! I guess I shouldn't say lastly. We got some more stuff to go over. We got this cabinet yet, and I got stuff over here. This is just wood wheel chucks and some stands. I got my Cusco rear strut bar I haven't put on yet. Some other random stuff. I got a ton of extra spark plugs up there. Again, just in case I need to replace them, I have them on site here. In case I'm in a mood and I feel like I should replace them, I can just go in the cabinet instead of running down to AutoZone and replace them. And then over here I have trans roller, engine stand, engine hoist, stock MR2 wheels I need to sell. Come at you, boy, you want to buy some, come on. I still need to sell these, $300 if anyone wants to buy those bad boys. But that's about it, guys. That's pretty much my garage, plus this ugly table. This is what I started with working on the car. This is like $70 at Walmart, but it works. The vise here, I think this was like $40 from Craftsman. Again, really cheap, but it works, 5-inch jaw. It's nothing spectacular, but it works. It just shows you don't need the craziest tools in the world, but I have a ton of tools. Now, if I was a true mechanic, if I was day in, day out, would I trust some of the tools I have? No. I would be probably buying some Snap-on, some Matco stuff. A lot of the stuff from Harbor Freight, though, I've talked to real mechanics, they're happy with it. You know, some of that stuff works for them. But some of the power tools I have, these, what the hell are these called? Porter cable. I don't think I trust them. I feel like they burn up. Now, if I want to spend some money, I'd probably buy Milwaukee or Snap-on. Seems like a lot of people are switching over to Milwaukee now. They seem to be the go-to brand these days. But besides that, most of the hand tools, I'm never going to have an issue with, and it'll last me probably till the day I die. This all has lifetime guarantees. And from what I'm told, Harbor Freight even holds up to their hammers. A guy had a dead blow hammer that finally blew out. He brought it in. The guy's like, we haven't even seen one of these hammers. They looked it up and said, yep, that color just has been discontinued for like 15 years or whatever. And he said, okay. They went in the back and said, here's your new one. He walked out. There was no paperwork, nothing. So that just says a lot about Harbor Freight and what they're willing to do. And now that there's a million of them everywhere, I had to drive over an hour to get to a Harbor Freight. Now I have 2 within 20 minutes of my house. So it's pretty awesome in that fact. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to do a quick one here. I usually upload every Wednesday and Sunday, but I'm kind of giving you guys a little extra one here today. I'm going to throw this up here for Friday night just to give you guys something else to watch for a change. So if there's anything you need, please do me a favor. Go down below, check out the Facebook and Instagram. I'm always posting stuff way ahead of time. I'm trying to get my Instagram to 10,000 followers. Once I get to 10,000, I get that cool little feature where it lets you swipe up so I can share my videos a little bit easier for y'all. The goal is to get to 10,000 so I can get that. That's about the only thing I really care about, is just so I have better access to sharing content with you guys. Another thing is, if you could do me a favor, click the little bell over here. And if you truly enjoy the content, the only reason I say this is YouTube has changed the algorithm and made life a lot harder for us YouTubers. This is my full-time gig. I am a normal working guy, but it does take a lot of time and effort to make these, and the more you guys watch them and the more that you get notified, the more money I make, which helps me, well, create the content I like to make for you guys. So you let me know. If you want to, great. If you don't, it is what it is. So guys, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in the channel. I'll be working on Supra and MR2 here this weekend. I'll get a new video for you, and thank you very much.